Oh, hey guys, don't mind me. I just stole this Nintendo Wii U from a small family-owned business. Do you guys like party games? Mario Party, Jackbox Party, Super Smash Bros. Party, Tricky Towers. That's not a party. That's a catastrophic event in US world history. I have a bit of a weird relationship with party games. There's some that I absolutely love and believe to be the greatest thing to happen to mankind since the Chill Bill theme song from Skylanders Trap Team, and then there's others where I would willingly sacrifice my future children in order to erase from our timeline. Growing up, I was surrounded by party games. Basically, every major console I purchased had some sort of party mini-game related title that I would play entirely by myself, since no one ever showed up to my birthday parties. Now, personally, my favorite genre of party game is the glorified tech demo. LaiyenZ, what does that even mean? You know exactly what I'm talking about. For the Kinect, we had Kinect Adventures. For this thing, we had Hit Games Start the Party, and then of course there's the most iconic tech demo of all time, Wii Sports. Nintendo's by far the king of tech demo games. We've seen it on basically every major console they've released since the Stone Age, but I believe there's one game in particular that falls under the tech demo nomenclature that doesn't get enough attention. Nintendo Land. LaiyenZ, freeze! You're a fraud. We already know your history with the Wii U because you've discussed it in like 30 different videos and 20 different streams. You didn't even own a Wii U growing up. How are you gonna talk about Nintendo Land if you haven't even played the game, huh? What are you gonna do? Make a YouTube apology video for not owning a Wii U? I would like to formally apologize for not owning a Wii U while I was growing up, since I had an Xbox 360 and wasn't a complete loser. Sadly, I never got the opportunity to play Nintendo Land in its prime. But hey, I own it now, so let's talk about it. Now, we can't talk about Nintendo Land without talking about the console it released on, the Nintendo Wii U. The story of the Wii U actually begins way earlier than its initial announcement, since all the way back in November of 2006, Nintendo decided to release its predecessor, and the most dangerous console on planet Earth, the Nintendo Wii, aka my favorite arthritis-inducing product. At the time, the 2006 citizens of Earth 134 were probably looking at the Wii and thought to themselves, what part of my body do I stick this in? Yeah, the console was a very unique entry into the video game landscape, but the console's uniqueness is what helped it stand out, since Nintendo's competitors, PlayStation and Xbox, were creating traditional, regular old home consoles that were absolutely dominating the market. While the PS2 was running a train on every household on the planet, Nintendo went ahead and released the GameCube, which turned out to be a complete failure and finished second to last in sales for home consoles during this generation, just above the Sega Dreamcast. Nintendo knew they couldn't really compete when it came to traditional home consoles, so they had to think outside of the box, or even the cube. With that in mind, Nintendo decided to move away from the traditional console market and make their return to wackiness with the release of the Wii, which would go on to become one of the best-selling consoles of all time, and in my opinion, one of the major reasons it did so well was because of a little tech demo known as Wii Sports. Wii Sports is currently the 4th best-selling game of all time, and you may be saying, LaiyenZ, that's literally because it was a pack-in title with the console and everyone was forced to own it. Yeah, you're right, but it was genuinely just a good game and a must-own item in all households from the year 2006 to 2000 and right now. Wii Sports became a cultural phenomenon that millions fell in love with due to its simple nature but addicting gameplay. As the 7th generation of video game home consoles came to an end, Nintendo clearly came out as the winner. But they couldn't bask in their glory for long, since when it came time to release a new console, they had a bit of an attachment issue. At E3 2011, they showcased the Wii U, and what is a Wii U? The reveal trailer for this console did an absolutely horrible job of explaining what the hell this console even was. The entire time, it made it seem like it was just a new controller that you can buy for a pre-existing Wii, but in reality, this thing isn't even a Wii. It's a totally new console. Now, in addition to the confusing reveal trailer, E3 2011 is where we got our first look at Nintendo Land. Kinda. The game wasn't officially announced or even considered an actual video game yet. Instead, 3 demo games that were made playable on the Wii U's at the convention would lay the groundwork for future attractions in Nintendo Land. The first game demo was Battle Me, which was a multiplayer battle game used to demonstrate the Wii U gamepad. One person would control a battleship using the gamepad, and the goal was to assassinate the other players who were controlling their Miis on the TV. Now, as you can see, the Miis are wearing a Samus outfit, and the ship being controlled is literally Samus's ship, so to no one's surprise, this game would go on to become Metroid Prime 4. The next tech demo game that was made available was Chase Me, and I don't mean literally Chase Me, that's just the name of the demo game, but please, I'm begging, don't actually chase me. It's chase me, like me, not me, but me. The game mode also went by the name Find Me, which, once again, please don't. And this game mode was once again used to showcase the gamepad. The individual gamer who's using the gamepad would be brutally chased and murdered by all the other players, and as many of you can assume, this game would later become Super Mario Wonder. The final game demo that was made available at E3 2011 and would later become a game mode in Nintendo Land was Shield Pose. In Shield Pose, you would have to use the gamepad to shield yourself from pirate attacks. This is kind of like a reference to hit anime One Piece. The official announcement for Nintendo Land wouldn't come until a year later at E3 2012, when the beautiful, succulent, glowing man Reggie stood on stage and introduced us to the game. Reggie would go on to describe Nintendo Land as a game where all classic Nintendo franchises came together in a virtual theme park, and that theme park became a way to start demonstrating the magic of the Wii U gamepad. Nintendo Land would go on to release on November 18th of 2012 as a pack-in title for the 32GB deluxe Wii U model, but there was also a physical release of the game for people who got the white Wii U, or for those who purchased the Wii U bundle that didn't include the game. The premise behind Nintendo Land is very simple. The game takes place in a Nintendo-themed amusement park, and each game mode is supposed to look like a different attraction based on popular Nintendo franchises, such as my all-time favorite, Octopus. The concept of basing the mini-games on different Nintendo franchises was so cool, since being able to see all my favorite Nintendo characters come together in one big game was epic, and has definitely never been done before. When you first boot up the game, you're introduced to the love of my life, and the individual I will be marrying in the future. Monita. Monita is a great person, what can I say? Now, some people are extremely racist and say that she isn't a person, but instead a fictional robot in a niche party game created for one of the worst-selling Nintendo consoles, but we don't tolerate that kind of toxic mindset here on the LaiyenZ YouTube channel. Monita helps guide players through the Nintendo Land Plaza, which is the main hub world you start the game off in. The plaza is every brain-rotted child's dream. It's colorful, has amazing music, and used to be bustling with life. Now, I say used to, since all of that life has died with the tragic death and discontinuation of Miiverse. For those of you who don't know what Miiverse is, it's basically a old social media platform that Nintendo created for the 3DS and Wii U, where people could do different posts, and it was a very cool thing. I like it a lot. Nintendo, why'd you get rid of it? While in the hub world, you'll notice that you're surrounded by 12 different attractions, those being Animal Crossing Sweet Day, Balloon Trip, Donkey Kong's Crash Course, The Legend of Zelda Battle Quest, Luigi's Ghost Mansion, Mario Chase, Metroid Blast, Pikmin Adventure, Takamuras Ninja Castle, Captain Falcon's Twister Race, Yoshi's Fruit Cart, and Octopus Dance. One of the coolest features about the main hub area is when you pass an attraction, music from that franchise will fade in and out depending on your distance. I thought this was just a super cool little feature that they added that made it feel more like an amusement park, the theme they were going for. Of the 12 attractions available to play, there are 3 different categories that they fall into. There are team attractions that are 1 to 5 players, then there are competitive attractions that are 2 to 5 players, and then finally there are the solo attractions, which are meant for the average LaiyenZ viewer. The first game I'd like to take a look at is Animal Crossing Sweet Day, which is one of the 3 competitive attractions available in the game. For Animal Crossing fans in the early 2010s, this was like an oasis in a never-ending desert, since the Animal Crossing franchise had an appeared on a Nintendo home console since 2008 with Animal Crossing City Folk for the Nintendo Wii, and then a new mainline game wouldn't release in North America until a year later after Nintendo Land, and that game obviously ended up being one of the greatest of all time, Animal Crossing New Leaf. Sweet Day's motto is eat and run, and no, that doesn't mean to illegally dine and dash, because that is illegal. Instead, players have to collect candy while running away from two guards that are being controlled by the individual using the Wii U gamepad. I'm gonna be honest, I've only played this game mode once since getting my Wii U, but I still have to say it's definitely up there as one of my favorites, although one of the most annoying features is when your character collects more candy, they tend to slow down, which does make sense since they're carrying more stuff, so obviously they would slow down, but still, when my character slowed down, it made me want to punch a hole through my friend's ribcage. The next competitive attraction in Nintendo Land stars everyone's favorite Italian plumber, Tony Soprano. Mario Chase is like a big game of tag, but unlike regular tag, when one person is trying to catch every other player, this version has one person being chased down by everyone. Yeah, I don't think the developers over at Nintendo understand the concept of tag, or maybe my brain is just corrupted and rotting and I didn't grow up playing tag the right way. But in Mario Chase, the person using the gamepad has to run for their lives while they're getting tracked down by bloodthirsty little toads. Whoever's controlling Mario will win if they're able to survive the time limit, and then the Toad players will win if they simply catch Mario. From the surface, this game mode may seem pretty unfair since it's literally a 3v1, but the way the map is laid out with all the obstacles makes it a really enjoyable experience. The final competitive attraction is the spooky, scary Luigi's Ghost Mansion, where players have to try and avoid getting captured by a ghost that is being controlled by the Wii U gamepad user. In order for the ghost to beat the game, they have to catch all the ghost hunters without getting caught, while the ghost hunters can win by shining their flashlight on the ghost and decreasing its health to 0. As a Luigi's Mansion fanboy and also a fan of Pac-Man Versus on the Nintendo GameCube, Luigi's Ghost Mansion is a great time. Also, one of the players can dress up as Waluigi, so this game mode gets an automatic A+ S tier. Whoever came up with this idea can have my kids. Moving on to the team attractions, we have 3 games. The first of which I want to talk about is Metroid Blast, and I know a bunch of my viewers may have just gotten a little bit jump scared since, what the hell? I thought Nintendo forgot about this franchise. Yeah, the Metroid franchise gets 0 love on the Wii U. Not a single original Metroid game was released on the console, and all fans of the franchise had to play were past titles through the Virtual Console or random appearances in games such as Tekken Tag Tournament 2. Metroid Blast is arguably the most iconic Metroid appearance on the Wii U, and although that may sound really sad and depressing from the perspective of a Metroid fan, this game mode is actually really fun. There are 3 different options within the attraction, those being Assault Mission, Surface Air Combat, and Ground Battle. Assault Mission is kind of like the Mercenaries game mode in Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, or any Zombies game mode in Call of Duty. Different waves of enemies will come on you, and you have to defeat them all in order to complete the mission. By the way, Assault Mission can be played solo, for those of you wondering, so there's no need to cry. Turn that frown upside down. The next team attraction is The Legend of Zelda Battle Quest, which is based on hit Smosh video, The Legend of Zelda Rap. There are 2 different game modes within this attraction. The first is called Quest, and the goal is for all the players to work together in order to fight different enemies from the Zelda franchise. And then at the very end, you have to fight this Ganon. Players using the Wiimote will wield a sword, while the gamepad user is an archer that can use the tablet to aim. The second game mode is called Time Attack, and the goal is to defeat as many enemies as possible using the archer. As a massive Zelda glazer and fanboy who be hopping on that pole up and down, just sliding all up on it, I really enjoyed this game mode, and especially loved the overall design direction of the enemies, since they kinda looked like arts and crafts projects. Pikmin Adventure is the final team attraction, and let me tell you something, give me a jar cause I want to stick a red Pikmin in it. Pikmin Adventure requires very epic and based teamwork with the friends you make along the way. The person with the gamepad gets to control everyone's favorite little space goblin, Olimar, while the Wiimote users get to control some Pikmin. You basically have to navigate through different environments while beating animatronic versions of famous Pikmin enemies. Five Nights at Freddy's reference. There are 2 game modes within this attraction, those being Challenge Mode, where you have to reach the SS Dolphin at the end of each course, and then there's a Versus Mode, where you try to get as many points as possible. Moving on to the solo attractions, aka the only attractions I really got the chance to play in great detail for this video, since my family refuses to spend time with me for some reason, and my only friends are a lizard named Bartholomew Bowser Jr. and this Ludwig action figure. Balloon Trip Breeze is the first solo attraction I'd like to look at. Obviously, as the name implies, it's based on hit game Ripen Tingle's Balloon Trip of Love. Using the stylus on the gamepad, you have to draw some wind that will be used to direct your character through some obstacles. It's kind of like hit game and cultural phenomenon Flappy Bird, but in reality, it's actually nothing like hit game and cultural phenomenon Flappy Bird at all, since it's Balloon Trip Breeze. Next, we got my least favorite game mode of all time, and whoever thought this was a good idea to create should be put on trial for war crimes. Donkey Kong's Crash Course. LaiyenZ, don't you love Donkey Kong and even have a onesie that you wear occasionally on stream? Yeah, I love Donkey Kong. Great character, great games, great everything. But still, this game made me want to rip my eyes out of my skull and squeeze them in the palm of my hands. I actually played this minigame on stream, and I wasn't even able to get past the tutorial. LaiyenZ, that might be because you suck at video games. Well, you know what? I sucked on Captain Falcon's Twister Race is the next solo attraction, and literally the only reference to the Captain Falcon franchise other than Smash Brothers. I don't know why Nintendo hates F-Zero and refuses to acknowledge its existence, but whatever, at least we got this game mode in Nintendo Land. In this attraction, you have to race to the end of a track while avoiding a bunch of obstacles. The only issue is you have to hold your gamepad like this. So, Nintendo, what the hell? I'm just now realizing that anything that involves some kind of gyroscope or motion control is just not for me at all. Maybe it's because I have the hand-eye coordination and mobility of a 7,000-year-old wizard who enjoys brewing potions in their free time, but it's just, it doesn't work for me. I don't know. Yoshi! Look at it's Yoshi! Everyone look at Yoshi. Everyone loves Yoshi. Look at it go. It's a dragon dinosaur lizard, kind of like my only friend who's a lizard, Bartholomew Bowser Jr. Yoshi's Fruit Car is a super cute attraction based on my favorite Nintendo character of all time, Birdo. The game mode kind of plays like a generic mobile game in my opinion. Using the gamepad, you have to draw different paths in order to get some fruit and reach the finish goal. Now, of course, there are some obstacles along the way, but I would be lying to you if I said I enjoyed this attraction. It's just not for me. But hey, just like amusement parks in real life, not every ride is great. For example, the Minion ride at Universal Orlando gave me brain damage. Octopus Dance. Now, this is where things get super obscure. We were getting popular Nintendo franchises left and right, and now Nintendo decided, you remember the Game & Watch? In Octopus Dance, the goal is to dance, because it's a rhythm game. Oh my god. Following the instructor on the TV, the player must mimic their moves by either tilting the gamepad or moving the joystick. And as things progress, the game gets really fast, and since my brain is damaged from the Minion ride, I wasn't able to keep up. The final solo attraction is probably the most obscure. Takamura's Ninja Castle. For those of you who don't know Takamura, he is the main character of the mysterious Murasame Castle, which is a Japanese exclusive 1986 Famicom Disk System game that didn't come to the US until 2014, which is 2 years after Nintendo Land released. So, people playing Nintendo Land in 2012 and 2013 were probably so confused. In order to play this attraction, you had to turn your gamepad to the side and launch ninja stars at some enemies, and you would earn points for hitting combos. So that's all the attractions in Nintendo Land. Honestly, of all the game modes I played, I have to say the competitive and team attractions are definitely the most enjoyable, since most of the solo attractions, in my eyes, just weren't that fun, other than Octopus Dance, since I really just enjoy grooving. I'm a groovy guy. I'm a groovy individual. So, how would I rate Nintendo Land on a scale of 5 baby lion's heads? Well, I'd say it's a solid 4.25 out of 5, which is really good for a pack-in party game that doesn't get enough love. Alright, thank you all so much for watching today's video. If you liked it, make sure to drop a like. It always helps me out. And also, comment down below what your favorite Nintendo party game is. Also, huge thank you to all my channel members. I truly appreciate you all. Finally, make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Only this percentage of people are subscribed, which is insane, so make sure to subscribe. And once again, thank you all so much for the insane amount of support that you've been giving me recently. New videos hopefully every week, but you guys know me. I'll probably disappear to another galaxy very, very soon, or get abducted by the Mafia for some reason. So, yeah. Alright, stay safe, stay happy, go outside, and I'll see you all very, very soon.